Hello everyone, Beard Reads Books here, and in today's book review I'm going to be reviewing The Black Alchemist by Andrew Collins. I am going to be mainly talking about the original edition published in 1988. There was a revised edition done in 2015, so I'll be talking about that one a bit as well, but it's going to be mainly talking about this one. I have read both editions. The 2015 revised edition I read first quite a little while ago now, but I've just recently read the original, like, first print one, the 88 version. This is written as a factual account of events, but it can be read on two levels. You can either read it as a factual account of things that really happened, or you could read it as science fiction masquerading as factual accounts. It works on both levels. If you're going to read it as science fiction, it can be just as enjoyable a read as if you're reading it as a factual account. So I mean, I must admit I was leaning more towards reading it as a bit of a science fiction story, but it works on both levels. As you can guess, it sort of focuses around a character called the Black Alchemist. Now, Andrew Collins, the author, him and a friend of his, who we only know as Bernard, they do a lot of what's called psychic questing, going on sort of quests to use psychic abilities, using psychic abilities to go on quests and do things. Probably not a very good way of describing psychic questing, but that's what they get up to. They do psychic questing, and this book's all about how they, whilst they're out doing psychic questing, they become aware of the existence of this person whose identity they don't fully know, but they nickname him the Black Alchemist. And now, I suppose I should say this is set over a short period of time, around about 86, 87, early 88. And sort of the Black Alchemist, they have dealings, sort of through their psychic questions, their dealings with the Black Alchemist. They become aware of the fact that he's trying to bring about the what's the best way of describing it? He's trying to use alchemy to bring about a kind of a sort of an immaterial antichrist. I think that's the best way of describing what the Black Alchemist is up to. And yeah, so the book's all about him, this Black Alchemist, him getting up, doing his rituals, and Andrew and Bernard sort of trying to stop him. And it's always set around like the sort of like Sussex, Kent area, so a lot of the activity goes on there. And I don't know if you can see it very well on the bottom there. The hidden secrets of the hurricane revealed for the first time with pictures. So the hurricane of 87, it's sort of I think the Black Alchemist sort of had a bit of dealings behind that kind of thing, sort of saying what really sort of went on behind sort of the hurricane of 87. So yes, it's like I said, you might not necessarily believe that an alchemist like the Black Alchemist could be behind that. So, which is why I'm saying that this book can be read on two levels, as science fiction or as actual account. So I just having to get coffee. And there's also another character that makes an appearance in this book that again they don't know the the real identity of this character, but they nickname her the Black Sorceress of Arundol. Now, in the 88 edition of the book, they identify the Black Sorceress of Arundol as also being a member of the Friends of Hecate. Now, my last book review was The Demonic Connection, written by Toyne Newton with a lot of help from Charles Walker. He was a gentleman who did a lot of investigations up at Clapham Woods in Sussex, which is where the Friends of Hecate supposedly met. So, I mean, in this book, in the 88 edition, Andrew Collins, did he go with Bernard? I think Bernard was with him. But anyway, Andrew Collins, he meets up with Toyne Newton and Charles Walker to chat to them about the Friends of Hecate, and also tells them about the investigations him and Bernard are doing into the Black Alchemist. So yeah, there is a connection between the Black Alchemist and the Friends of Hecate. In the 2015 revised edition of the Black Alchemist, it doesn't really make that connection between the Friends of Hecate and the Black Alchemist. They don't really sort of make a bit of a mute point. They don't really sort of draw the parallel. It's sort of kind of don't really sort of dwell on that kind of connection. That's kind of left out a bit of the revised edition. So I'm not sure 100% why. The revised edition, it does include a lot of sort of like details and information that wasn't put in the 88 edition. One of the things that made it into the revised edition, I think it was information that Andrew Collins wasn't aware of when he published this one, was that apparently the Black Alchemist, they've got the address, they know where he lived, in Eastbourne. Now, apparently the Black Alchemist lived in Eastbourne. So now the 88 edition, it just kind of comes to a stop. It kind of sort of like, it's pretty much a case of Bernard, who was probably the main driving force between investigating the whole Black Alchemist thing. He's the one who's like reached the point where he's like, I can't carry on with this anymore. I don't want to do any more investigations into the Black Alchemist. I want to sort of call it an end, call it like just bring an end to it and that. So it kind of has a stop without any kind of resolution to it, and it's like all this talk about how the Black Alchemist was planned to bring around some kind of Antichrist and all the rest, and then it just kind of stops, and it's like, well, what happened with the Black Alchemist? What happened about his plans and that? You know, the 2015 revised edition does have a bit more of a resolution to the ending. It's not quite, the ending's a bit more of a tidier ending to this one. So I must admit, it's been a while since I've read the 2015 revised edition, so I can't quite remember exactly how it ends, but I do remember it's got a bit more of a tidier ending to it. So yes, I mean, it was quite an interesting little read, because they seem to like go off somewhere, like I mean, like sort of Bernard sort of gets a vision, or like, and they like go off and investigate, and sort of, they find something at a site, a church graveyard or something like that, and then they sort of like go down the pub and sort of for a chat and assess how things have, assess what's just been happening, chat over what's been happening, sort of over a pint down, over a pint down the pub and that kind of thing. So it's kind of, yeah, so it's a bit interesting. It's like, yeah, rush off, had a vision, rush off to like a graveyard or whatever, or found something, or down the pub and that kind of thing. So it's the way it's written, probably not to everybody's taste, you know, but I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, like I said, I read it as a kind of a, with the attitude it's kind of a bit of a sci-fi story, but yeah, it's, you know, I certainly enjoyed reading it. I mean, like I said, the two editions, they are a bit different. Like I said, that one's got a bit more information in it material in it that didn't make the first edition. It's got a tidier ending to it. But this one, I quite like this one because it's got makes a strong connection between the Black Alchemist and the Friends of Hecate that get talked about in the demonic connection. Now, if you're going to buy the Black Alchemist book, I mean, I would recommend sort of getting both copies, both editions. You know, so I think it'd definitely be worth that. But if you're going to get just one of the editions, my personal recommendation would be to say get the original one that was published in '88. The reason why I would make that particular recommendation is purely because it draws a strong connection between the Black Alchemist and the Friends of Hecate. But I mean, if you're the kind of person you don't like a book that has a bit of a blunt, abrupt ending, if you prefer your books to have a bit of a neater, tidier, more wrapped up ending, then I would say you're probably going to be better off getting the 2015 revised edition. So I suppose if you're going to get just one of the copies, I suppose it does come down to what your own personal preference is. But I'd definitely recommend getting both copies if your budget allows. I mean, they're not too expensive. You can sort of get them on places like, I think you can get them on eBay, Amazon, sort of those usual kind of places. So I think I haven't actually checked recently to see how much they're going for. I think if I remember rightly, they're sort of around about sort of the sort of £4, £5, £6 mark, something like that, depending on the quality. So I mean, if I remember rightly, they're sort of sub £10. So you know, you're not going to break the bank by getting them. You know, so unlike this one, which if you want to get your hands on the demonic connection, like I mentioned in the book review I did for this, these are hard to get, and you're looking at about sort of 30-35 quid at least to get your hands on a copy of this. Yeah, so yeah, that's a bit serious money. But I said these ones, they're more sensible money. Yeah, so there you have it. That's I've tried to keep it sort of pretty spoiler free. So I don't sort of ruin too much of what's happening in the story. So let you enjoy reading it for yourselves. And if you guys have read it, the book, I'd be interested to sort of hear what you think about it. So feel free to make a comment and all the rest. I hope you've enjoyed watching this book review video. and look forward to seeing you in the next one, guys. And in the meantime, take care.